we can duplicate what we did last year and also get to the NCAA tournament. Our guys have worked hard this summer and fall. We are pretty injury-free at this time. Our seniors have done a great job of leadership with Jakeena Gant, who was one of 4 players picked for preseason player of the year in the conference, yet finished 7th in the voting for all conference, which kind of confuses me a little bit. But Jakeena is a great player. He's had a great summer. He's gotten stronger. He's scoring the ball well in our scrimmages early. He's done very well scoring and rebounding the ball. Certainly was newcomer of the year last year in the league and defensive player of the year in the league. Marcus Stroman, point guard, who led the league in assists in conference games last year, led the league overall in assist to turnover ratio, is preseason third-team all-conference, and certainly feel like he can move up that poll as well and wind up having a fantastic season for us. He's done a good job leading. And then Malik Marquetti is playing his best basketball that he's played since he's been on our campus, and probably been our best player in the 3 weeks of fall practice that we've had. So we're excited about Malik and his future as well. We think all 3 of those guys are all conference candidates, and hopefully at the end of the year we'll be there. Our schedule, as Matt said, we are playing a couple of Quadrant 1 games early. Thought we needed to play some Quadrant 1 games, I was told. So we started at the top with Kansas and got Kansas and Tennessee that first week, which has been an awesome challenge for our basketball team. And from there, we'll go to the Gulf Coast Shootout down in Fort Myers and open up with Colorado State, very good team, and play the winner or loser of Toledo and Florida Gulf Coast. But that's an outstanding tournament, a lot of very good mid-major schools in that tournament, and one that we'll need to go compete in like we did at the Caymans Classic last season. We'll come back home and then play UNO on the road midweek before exams. So we'll have 6 of our first 7 games will be on the road, and then we'll turn around and have 4 straight at home, kind of even that score a little bit, and then we'll start conference play at home after Christmas. Going through a roster of our guys, Justin Miller has done a good job. Justin started for us as a freshman, averaged 11 and 5 as a freshman, did a nice job on a team that won 21 games. Last year only started 3 games. But he has worked hard on his body and become more mature as a player and better defensively as a player also. So he's going to play inside for us. Christian Lafayette's going to play inside for us, a 6'10 freshman, left-hander who's gained some weight and strength since he's been here. And really, day by day, he's getting better. He's a lot better today than he was 2 weeks ago, and taking each day as it comes to improve his strength and his game as a Division I basketball player. Also, Jakeena Gant, Jerikas Davis will be inside players for us. Jerikas has had a good fall, and we expect big things of him. He's certainly capable, 4th-year redshirt junior that's been in the program longer than anyone else. Malik Marquetti will play at the small forward. He'll play some power forward too. Jeremy Hayes is a transfer from Howard College that's very versatile. He's about 6'3", excellent defender, great quickness, very good shooter, and we feel like he's going to offset the loss of Jonathan Stove and Frank Bartley on the wing position. Certainly can be our best defender out there on the wing. P.J. Hardy has done a very good job defensively for us. Had a really good scrimmage the other day. Didn't score the ball, but he played really well, brought a lot of energy. P.J. Played a lot as a freshman last year, took a back seat a little bit, and he's done a very good job for us so far. Cedric Russell is a guy that will play at the 2-guard spot. Cedric's coming off a Jones fracture this summer, second one. He had surgery, and he missed July and August and part of September with that surgery. So he got back right before practice started and is doing a good job for us, an excellent shooter. And then, of course, Marcus at the point, and we'll also have Trajan Wesley, a freshman from South Falls High School in Houston, Texas, state champion as a junior, Trajan has done exactly what we thought he could do, and we're excited for our fans to see this young man when he takes the floor. So we're excited about the red and white scrimmage, as Matt said, on Thursday. It'll tip at 5 o'clock. Free admission for our fans and students to come in and see this team. We'll have one player, Jalen Johnson, who's a transfer from St. Louis University, that will not be able to play this year, so this will be your only time to see him play. He's a very good basketball player and outstanding student. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Where do you think the scoring comes from replacing the guys that need to be replaced?
I don't believe scoring will be an issue. We've led the league 6 years in a row and with the 83 points. I'm more concerned about rebounding a little bit, and probably rightfully so, losing the guys that have averaged 10 a year for 6 years in a row, 4 for Sean, 2 for Bryce. You're talking about 2 of the leading rebounders in school history and then 2 of the top 3 in Sun Belt history, which is outstanding. But from a scoring standpoint, Cedric Russell can really score the ball. Certainly Justin and Jarikas can score. Jakeenan has scored big for us. Malik has scored big for us. Marcus will score a little bit more. We know PJ can score the ball. Jeremy Hayes is going to be able to score. Christian Lafayette's a good offensive player. I'm really not concerned about scoring at this stage.
Well, but with that in mind, will you ask Stroman to be more aggressive offensively in terms of scoring and not being just a distributor, since he had so many scores around him last season?
We do. We have, and we will continue to do that. Unfortunately, that's in his DNA, and he wants to pass. Maybe fortunately it's in his DNA. But he looks for the pass first. But he has had really good practices, and some days where he's been dominant, getting to the paint and scoring the ball, sort of like Elfrid did back when he played for us.
How jacked up are these guys about the chance to knock off a number 1 from right out of the gate?
Well, it's a great opportunity, and we've talked about Fog Allen Fieldhouse as being one of the elite places to play college basketball, and no different than Coach Napier's group going to University of Alabama and Bryant-Denny Stadium. It's an awesome opportunity, and you can learn a lot about your team. They've had some distraction in the news lately, and we'll go play as hard as we can and see how we stack up.
This team, especially with some of its newer pieces last year, tasted a lot of success. Coming into this year, do you think that helps guys like Jakeenan and Malik and some of the others in knowing what it takes to get back to the top and trying to clinch?
Yeah, Seth, those guys they set out the year before. They fit into a group of seniors with Bryce, Frank, and Jonathan that scored 1,000 points all in the same year. And they did a really nice job as blending in. Now they've stepped up from being in the cast to being the leading ladies, if you will. And it's time for them to step up and lead these other guys. And they've done a great job of it this spring, this summer, and so far this fall. So look for them to be on the floor more than they were last year. And certainly think that their maturity and being a year older, that they're all 3 going to have great years for us.
Scheduling those 6 of the first 7 on the road, did you do that on purpose, or was that just how things fell?
It's the way it fell, Bobby. We were originally part of the preseason NIT, and they couldn't get enough teams to play in the NIT. We had to pick 2 games to go play, and we picked out of 4. We picked Kansas and Tennessee. I did do that, and we were supposed to get a home game, and the tournament fell through, but we kept our games, and we wound up having to get a waiver to get in the other tournament as a multi-team, exempt team event, and we played 3 games down in Fort Myers, and you get a 4th game thrown in with the exempt events, as I think people know, and those are usually non-Division I's. And our throw-in game's Tennessee. So I'll challenge anybody in the country to see if they've got a 4th tournament game as good as the one that we'll play up at Thompson Bowling.
So you're saying you like your nitty-gritty sheet?
I have to look at it and understand the new process. But we had trouble getting home games, as usual. And we're fortunate to get Southern on the schedule. I think that'll be a great game for us to come over in Baton Rouge. Hopefully they'll bring fans and be a good opportunity to play another in-state team that we haven't played in a long, long time. Also, we have Louisiana Tech coming to us this year, which is always a great game.
What's the update on Julian, and have you decided for sure if he'll take the medical, or is it still up in the air?
He's doing great. He's ahead, very much ahead of his rehab and has been. And I mean, he's squatting, running, doing what he needs to do. He probably will not be released till first of the year, so we'll wait and cross that bridge when we get to it.
What's RJ doing?
RJ is out. We talked about earlier, we don't have many injuries, but RJ actually went home in August and suffered a concussion. And so we didn't know till he came back, and so he has not been able to practice yet. And hopefully, we thought we were going to get him in another week, and now it looks like there might be another setback. So certainly all of our student athletes' health is of first concern.
How much the benefit of the, I guess, the training staff and dietitian has helped Justin Miller? How much weight has he lost?
I'm not really sure, Dave. He's I believe Justin's around 250, and the nutritionist and what Dr. Maggard, our administration's done, has really been a blessing. It certainly helped a lot of guys. We're hoping it helps the guys gain weight more than lose weight for the guys that need it. But having a professional there, someone that can monitor the calorie intake and your meals has been a big plus. So we're certainly taking advantage of this opportunity with the meals.
Who do you think has the biggest potential to maybe break out this year?
Malik Marquetti, he's been dominant in our scrimmages and in practice. He's really played the best basketball that he's played since he's been in our program. And he's a hard guy to guard. Seth, he's versatile. He can do a lot of things. He can guard different people. Look for us to play small some and play him at the power forward.
Do you feel like, kind of off Marquetti, do you feel like last year, with so many guys, he obviously had to play a different role of being maybe more of a defensive stopper and getting shots here and there, that he embraces that role, and you see that in practice of being a more dominant ball handler and scorer?
Being more consistent, he's better with his ball handling, yes. And Malik had a great start. If you remember, he didn't play well at Ole Miss, and Jonathan played well but got hurt. And then Jonathan missed about 5 games. He didn't play at all in the game, and so we started Malik. And then it was best interest of our team to bring Jonathan off the bench, which he did as a team player. And Jonathan had his most efficient numbers of his career. So his buy-in was crucial to our success last year, and I don't want people to not recognize the hit that Jonathan Stove took individually to make that team successful. But Malik played very well till probably 2/3 into the season, had some great games shooting the ball 5 for 5 from 3, and then he struggled a little bit at the end to score, didn't play very well in our last game for sure, but he still averaged over 8 points, shot 40-something% from 3, and shot 80+ from the free throw line.
Talking about players like Jonathan Stove, Frank Bartley, Bryce Washington, normally when you lose those type of players, it takes a hit to the team. You guys have so many guys coming back from last season. Do you see this team having the same amount of success that last season's team did?
Certainly we would hope so. I feel the conference is a little bit better overall, too. There's some very good teams in our league and very good players. And we've got 3 starters back, and feel like those 3 guys are very talented and very good at what they do. And if our younger guys play well and give the support that we have and we stay injury-free, then we'll have a chance to have another really good season.
How did Gant take what you were suggesting, obviously, a snub?
Well, we talked about it, and a little bit of chip on the shoulder. Certainly, it probably bothered me more than it bothered him. But it's certainly disrespectful to me. I mean, this guy is a phenomenal player, and was very consistent last year. And you saw how valuable he was, as we didn't have him in the conference tournament. and in the NIT, and we didn't fare too well without him. But last year, Frank was picked third team, made first team, and so it's about the finish, obviously. You know, the polls are for the fans and for the media, and it has to be a starting point somewhere. So it's the end. We were picked fifth last year, and had one of the best teams that conference teams had here in 6 years. Dominated the conference.
Where did Bryce get drafted? And has he ever been in a place that is going to be so cold?
No, he's going to Canada. He and Frank both are going to play in Canada. And I just visited with those guys last week. They were here. And they were looking to try to get in the G League, and it didn't work out. They turned down some pretty good opportunities early, and now they're both going to play in Canada. So they're excited about it. Again, a starting point for them to begin their professional career. If they play well, then they'll have other opportunities.
Frank going to that same team or different?
No. Different team, but I believe it's the same city. I was told. I'm not sure.
They want a pair of gloves?
I hope so. You can tell them more about that than I can.